Well, so we're a little late today. Um, we're quite late today. It's probably the latest I've ever been. Welcome back to the NBA show. It's Wednesday, November 2nd. The year is 2022. We got Thomas and Aaron down below in the chat, possibly. Uh, a really long day here. So we were supposed to have Aaron on as a co-host today. I personally don't want to be doing this right now. So like it'd be cool just throw Aaron on here. I dip out and he can just go from there. Today's been one of the longer days in my recent lifetime for sure. Fuck. Been up for I don't know, 12, 14 hours, something like that. So I'm going to keep this one extremely short, extremely sweet. Maybe we get Aaron on to talk some Atlanta Hawks. I just have some vague comments to give. I don't know what it is. If you guys been watching these Wednesday episodes, not too many people have been watching these Wednesday episodes. I hate these, dude. I literally hate these. I think it's retarded. I think that it's better to either do no podcast on Wednesday or uh, I won't even dive into it because I say this every goddamn Wednesday, but like I hate the solo Wednesday show, and I don't know. There's no way around it. There are ways around it, but that's for a different day. We'll start it off talking about the Brooklyn Nets, I suppose. What is on the title for today's stream? Let me check. Cyro always sets it up. Oh, I changed it. That's right. Cyro always sets it up, and I forget why, but I always have to change it. So we're talking basketball today. The Brooklyn Nets. It's just another day of not knowing how this kid's such a good producer. Shout out Cyro for being such a good producer. Brooklyn Nets are 2-6. So personally as a Bulls fan, I enjoyed watching this game yesterday. Ooh, I actually think I just figured it out. Wow, wait, did I? Oh no, shit! I really did. Now I gotta figure out the zoom. Oops. What does this look like? That actually doesn't really look that bad. And the thing is, dude, I'm just like I don't know. I'm actually quite. I'm actually like not quite. I'm actually like extremely crabby. If you can't tell, if you know me, I'm sure you can tell I'm pretty freaking crabby right now. I'm not too pleased with the way the day's gone, but neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. We'll see how it goes because I want to talk about a couple of things here. So we got this on screen. All right, cool. So Kyrie Irving had 0 points until the fourth quarter, which was always great to see. My Tuesdays suck. It's what sucks is like so basically here in Illinois, we have the Bulls games on. For some weird reason, my mom's cable package, it's actually not even cable, like her whatever package she has doesn't use like I don't know. I don't have Bulls games. I don't have Blackhawks games. I don't have Cubs games. I don't have Sox games. I don't have well, I have Bears games because they put it on Fox, but I don't have any Chicago sports game, so I cannot watch Chicago sports when I'm here, and it's actually like super annoying. And I genuinely don't get it. And then something Sierra and I were talking about yesterday with the blackout on League Pass. It's like I can't even watch it on there. So I was able to watch yesterday's game, but the part that makes this story shitty is Tuesday's like the night where I'm just like busy from Tuesdays. I'm busy from like noon to midnight. Like, and there's just no breaks, there's no stoppage. Like, it's just go, 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 go. And it's a lot of live streaming. And it really takes a toll on me. And so I hate Tuesdays sometimes because it's just like sometimes you're in the mood to do it, sometimes you're not, but you got to do it anyways. And so I barely watched this game live. I saw like I think a possession or two live, and I had to watch this game today. And it's cool because I have League Pass. I'm able to watch it in like an hour, hour and a half or whatever, but it makes because of how shitty the Tuesday is, it makes the Wednesday like also stressful. So it's really doggy, but we'll talk about this game here as we got Aaron chatting. Bulls are actually lucky to be 500 with their injuries. We can't really catch a break right now. I really like our bench. I will talk a little bit about the Bulls in a couple of minutes, but I'm gonna start off with Brooklyn, and I wanna make this clear. I know that we have Cyro would know how to play this goddamn video, but I want to see if I'm able to play this video for you guys because this is like my whole point. And I think it's just like I think we got it. Yeah, we got it. This isn't even the video this is not the video I was looking for, to be honest with you. I'm originally from Chicago. Oh, hell yeah. Aaron, dude, I scouted a ton of stuff about the Atlanta Hawks. So give me like 10 to 15 minutes if that's cool with you. I apologize. We're late today. We're just all over the place. Shitty position to be in. But anyways, this is the video. This is a similar video that I'm talking about.
Hey,
Good song, Murder on My Mind. So like this is a couple of years old. I feel like that's still playing. All right. Well, that's not the video I was looking for. Anyways, the point is this. All these videos of Steve Nash dancing keep floating around Twitter, and it reminds me of like just playing basketball. Now, I'm not in the NBA, like obviously, but if I was, and even if this wasn't the NBA, let's say this is high school basketball or college basketball or whatever bigger time basketball. It could even just be like it can't really be a friends league because that's more for fun. But if basketball was my job, if playing basketball is my job, and I have my head coach dancing on TikTok, like personally for me, and this could be a hot take, like it's hard for me to respect that. Like to just be honest with you, like I'm 23, right? So I guess I'm like technically a part of this TikTok generation, although I think I'm not in the TikTok generation. If my head coach, if like I'm just trying to think, if I'm Kyrie Irving, I've won a championship. If I'm Kevin Durant, I'm two-time Finals MVP. I've won 2 championships. I've played with Hall of Famers. Both players have played with Hall of Famers. They've played with the best players of our generation. They've played with the best players of all time. And my head coach is dancing on TikTok. I like just personally, it rubs me the wrong way. I don't know how actually I can respect that. I don't even really respect Steve Nash as a coach. I respect him as a person, although I've never met him. But like, if my job was lenient on him, I just don't really like that at all. So I think Brooklyn is 2-6 right now. To my knowledge, 2-6, right? I mean, they have big defensive issues. I like the way that they started the game in the first quarter, especially defensively speaking, against my Chicago Bulls. I thought that they were holding it down and they were doing solid. Obviously, Kyrie Irving, I don't know if this whole outside noise with the, anti-Semitic comments, I'm imagining it's playing a role. Definitely, because I can't think of the last time Kyrie Irving scored 4 points and didn't score in 3 straight quarters. So, like, it's all a bunch of shitty situations, but I'm just so glad for the Brooklyn Nets that Steve Nash is no longer a head coach, because I was unaware of these dances until today, and I saw these dances. I saw it on Twitter, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy's a fucking dork. Like, like, I'm a Hall of Famer. If I'm Kevin Durant, I'm a Hall of Famer. I have 2 Finals MVPs, 2 rings. I don't know why I should be listening to that guy. So I really think that Udoka move was game changing. I think it was season altering, and I think it's the last bit of hope to keep this. Actually, it's one of the last bits of hope to keep the Nets season alive. Their other hope might be trading Ben Simmons, which I saw some rumors on. I don't have too much to say because I didn't look too much into that, but I did see that a Western GM, apparently they had conversations about bringing like an elite shooter or elite scorer to Brooklyn, and Ben Simmons' name was floating around in return. So immediately I thought of my Houston Rockets. I'd love Ben Simmons on my team for like Eric Gordon at first. Like I'd do that any day. Obviously that doesn't work, but you get my point. Like You're right, it's not the dancing, it's the use of TikTok. You're a grown man, you don't need to be dancing on TikTok. Like, honestly, it's a little bit of both. Like, it's just I don't know. Like, Bill Belichick isn't dancing on TikTok. I mean, Bill Belichick's probably one of the best coaches of all sports of all time, and it's like, if Bill Belichick all of a sudden hopped on TikTok and is posting a couple dancing videos a month, I'm like, well, you know, it's shitty. So I think Brooklyn will be just fine because of Ime Udoka, but I don't know, man. Last night was tough if you're a Nets fan for sure. Moving on, we'll talk about the Golden State Warriors because there are 3-6, and that is technically. Can you guys see the screen? Yep. This is so shitty, dude. We've only got a couple more weeks of this. Okay, yeah, fuck. This shit is hard. All right, there we go. Yep. No. Come on. I'm ready to go play fucking Pirtle and just hop on the couch and watch not reality TV and Practical Jokers or South Park, but Golden State, as Aaron says right here, I think Golden State will turn on later half of the season. So I don't know the stats by heart, but I know Golden State lost, what was it, 6 to 7 last season in a 7-game span. They want basically the point is Golden State went on a bunch of losing streaks, like a ton of losing streaks. What Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors are currently doing is something that no one's really ever done, to my knowledge. They're literally prioritizing development. And we saw it last year with a cat named Moses Moody, where we have Moses Moody playing in the playoffs. I get it was like 10 minutes, but still, I mean, that was a rookie playing in the playoffs for the Golden State Warriors. So I have no concerns with Golden State Warriors. I think that a package of James Wiseman and Jonathan Kuminga might actually end up happening. Like, to just be honest with you, I don't think Kuminga fits on the Warriors in any way, shape, or form. I think he's too raw. I don't think he fits the culture. I don't think he fits the team. I haven't seen enough from him. James Wiseman, like, I'm not saying you got to trade either of them, but like what I would do is I'd probably go sign Dwight Howard so he can mentor James Wiseman. I'd keep mentoring Kuminga. I don't have concerns for the Warriors. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up making some type of move. It also, what is kind of shitty is, I don't know if you guys saw that video of, I think Poole either got called for a carry, which he got called for a lot yesterday. It's an easy tweak. It's not a big deal. I guess an email went out like on game day yesterday about they're gonna like start calling travels more, which it is what it is. But Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, like I don't know, it is what it is. But the point is this: Jordan Poole there was this clip on Twitter where, and in the whole game in general, he kind of seemed like a dick. Like, to just be honest with you, he just kind of seemed like a dick. He like rolled his eyes at Kyle Lowry with his back turned to him. I don't know. It just it seemed kind of desperate. It seemed kind of doggy. Like, I'm not saying Jordan Poole's a problem or is the problem, but it definitely makes me side more with Draymond Green, which I was already doing. As Cyro and I debated, I think we were both in agreement where it's like, if Draymond Green's punching you in practice, like, it's probably the guy who got punched fault. And in this case, it was Jordan Poole. So I don't know. It's just like, exactly right. Like, it's just, I think Green was in the right regardless, because I have a hard time believing that Draymond Green, all his accolades, how old he is, his experience, I have a hard time believing that he was the problem in general. I get he's more of an edgy guy. He's more of an edgy teammate, I would imagine. He's very vocal leader, which is exactly what they need, because Steph Curry, one of the best shooters of all time, might be the best shooter of all time. He's not a vocal leader, right? So it just got me thinking when I was watching that game last night. But as far as like, are the Golden State Warriors going to be fine? 100%. They're going to be a top 4 seed regardless. Their starting 5, especially with Poole, they still look good. Like, they look really good, actually. So I don't have any concerns with the Golden State Warriors. But like Aaron says right here, like, Green might have been in the right here. And I mean, it's like a shitty situation. I don't know. I don't want to speak too much on it right here, right now. But next up, we're going to talk about Anthony Edwards because he was saying that he has no dunks. And Anthony Edwards has no dunks on the season, which to a lot of people is quite interesting. And I definitely have some comments because I've been watching a lot of Golden State Warriors basketball or Minnesota Timberwolves basketball this season. So Anthony Edwards has no dunks. Well, one of the things I noticed last night against the Phoenix Suns, who were without DeAndre Ayton, I think that's important. Anthony Edwards is actually statistically having a really good season right now. I'll actually pull up his stats right here just to back up my statement. Anthony Edwards on the season's averaging a career high 23.1 points a night, career high 6.1 rebounds, career high 4 assists. He's shooting career high 45% from the field. He's shooting a career high 37% from downtown. But Minnesota is what, 4-4? When you watch these games, like Rudy Gobert helps them a lot on defense. But what I've noticed when they're running their offense is you have Cat spread out. But Rudy Gobert's only scoring is in the paint. It's in the post. I'm not concerned if I'm opposing teammate or opposing opponent, I should say, guarding Rudy Gobert. If I'm Bismack Biyombo and Rudy Gobert goes up and sets a screen, I'm going to just drop fade because I don't like Rudy Gobert can shoot from anywhere he wants. Like, honestly, even if he's in the paint, I'll let Rudy Gobert get a shot off if I get a contest up. A late contest is better than no contest, right? So I won't say their offense looks bad, but for the amount of draft capital they gave up for Rudy Gobert, it's just kind of shitty. I mean, they'll figure it out, but the as he alluded to when he was saying I have no dunks, is like the passing lane or the driving lane's closed because Rudy Gobert is moving around in the paint. He's moving around the basket all the time. Good thing Anthony Edwards is a multifaceted shooter and scorer, I should say, and he's a shooter. Can shoot from downtown. He can knock down a mid range. He's still going to do his thing in transition, but I don't like the way the Minnesota Timberwolves offense is looking right now. I wouldn't blame Rudy Gobert. I wouldn't blame D'Angelo Russell. I definitely wouldn't blame Anthony Edwards or Karl-Anthony Towns. I also have concerns if Cat is technically your best player. I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think Karl-Anthony Towns is it feels bad to say he's not a leader, but I don't feel good if my favorite team's best player was Karl-Anthony Towns. As doggy as that sounds, thank goodness Anthony Edwards is still hooping. But I have concerns, especially once we get into the playoffs. I really don't feel too great about the Minnesota Timberwolves right now for a multitude of different reasons. And Anthony Edwards having 0 dunks, I know that's like such a niche and random statistic, although I think it kind of paints a pretty vague picture on it. I mean, yeah, his leadership's lacking. Cat, and exactly as Aaron's saying, he's the second best player on the championship team. So it's kind of shitty, but it is what it is. It's like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. When you really break down Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant being on the same basketball team, neither are vocal leaders. Neither of them are vocal leaders. You could actually make I think, a very legitimate argument because LeBron James exists, because the Golden State Warriors won 73 games when Draymond was crying in the car, calling Kevin Durant to come on over. I don't think if those are your two leaders, I have concerns as far as championship aspirations. So, yeah, Minnesota and Brooklyn, to me, they're both solidified top 6 seeds, undisputed. But the leadership, it gives me some question marks. I was going to talk Bulls, but I don't think we're going to do that. I was going to talk Rockets as well, but I'm thinking we get Aaron in here and finish it up with some Atlanta Hawks content. Pull up Twitter here. I got some questions to ask him, and we'll pull up while we wait for Aaron to pull up if he's available, we'll just go ahead and pull up the Atlanta Hawks stat muse because they are having a lot of defensive issues right now. However, their offense looks solid. Trae Young is doing his thing right now. And where are my earbuds? They are. Hey, we got Aaron in here. 1 second, Aaron. I gotta make sure this. All right. Oh God, dude. Oh, never mind. JK, dude. Hell yeah. Aaron.
What's up, brother?
What's up, dude? I can hear you perfectly. Let's go.
Good, I guess. You just don't want to see me perfectly. That's the other one.
Oh. So all day today, or I guess more specifically, when I was at the gym today, I was listening to a bunch of Atlanta Hawks stuff. And I know they're coming off that blowout, which wasn't
God, man,
a
that
blowout,
was
but
a that was a rough that was a rough game to watch. Like it didn't matter where they threw the ball. Like Toronto just got a hand on it. It was like another steal.
yeah. So like Toronto's a really good team,
Yeah, they
right?
are.
But I mean, I feel like personally, Atlanta being 4-3, I would imagine you watched that Bucks game. They're on a huge road travel.
Yeah,
Bad words, but you get what I'm saying. Big road trip right now. Trae Young brought him back into that game. Like they were competitive with Milwaukee till the end, and honestly, they were competitive with Toronto until the fourth quarter. So you
right.
got a
100%.
4-3 Atlanta Hawks right now. You have a top 10 offense. Their defense is lacking, but you're 4-3. What are your thoughts as a diehard Atlanta Hawks fan right now?
Well, okay, so their defense is inconsistent. I wouldn't. I know it looks bad, but we've had two bad blowouts that's kind of ruined what the defense looks like. But we had four games of really good defense. I think the problem is right now again is that we're trying to refine a new identity where we want to be an average defense, right? And I think we'll
Mm,
be that at the end of the year, and we'll be back to a top five offense by the end of the year. But I mean, it's just growing pains. Like we've changed our entire offensive thing. Nate McMillan is not known for being a very good offensive coach, so it's just going to take a while. It really
mm,
is. I think we'll probably be around 500 or hover around 500 until the All Star break, and
okay.
then we'll probably put in some big screen, you know, big runs near the end. And I think we'll probably place probably 46, 47 wins. That's my
Okay.
hope.
Oh, okay. I feel like you're being a little generous there.
I mean, giving them too many wins or
No. Like I feel, or what's the opposite of generous?
conservative.
I feel
Yeah, I'm
like,
playing a
yeah,
little
I feel like
conservative.
you're being a little safe here with that take.
It's because I think we will hover around 500. I think we'll have a couple bad runs where things are just not falling. Like right now, so we started out this season like missing everything. And if you go check the shot selection, we have like the worst shot selection in the entire
Yeah,
league.
yeah,
So we're not taking shots, and then when we do, we're not taking good shots. So it's like you can't win ball games like that. And but I know this will fall. Eventually, they'll figure it out, and when they do, like they're going to be really tough to stop because if you're kind of or hovering around 500 with a brand new offense and 7 or 8 new players, I mean,
yeah.
the team has radically changed. So it's it should mean something to people that these other teams that are doing really well that like Cleveland, right? They got changed like one player out, and then their other point guard went out, so they haven't really had a lot of gelling time to see it fail. So it's almost like Denver Nuggets part two because, or not Denver Nuggets, but Utah Jazz part two because Donovan Mitchell gets to be the offensive force for their team,
Mm,
and then he's got a bunch of bigs underneath that can block. It's no different than the Jazz. So for him, it's a really easy fit.
yeah. So I was listening to something today that was saying, should Atlanta or stagger Trey Young differently? I think it's kind of perfect that he plays pretty much all the first and third quarter, gets to save his legs for the crunch time, late fourth. I think DeJounte Murray's plenty capable of carrying an offense and defense. I think what's really being undernoted outside of Hawks fans is the addition of Bogdanovich when he's healthy, because we're talking about like they don't have good 3-point stats right now. I could probably pull that up, but
Now we're at 36% as a team. It
yeah,
was
like
way lower though. Like that was like one or two good games that brought us up to average. We were way
okay.
lower before that.
So yeah, I know the shot selection, they're the worst in the league with
Yeah.
shot selection right now. I think they were 17th last season, so that's not really a concern for me at all. And like you said, I mean, especially on the bench, I mean, there's just a ton of new faces.
Mm-hmm.
I just genuinely feel like, I mean, first off, they're 4-3. They've not had, I guess you have back to back against Detroit. I wouldn't necessarily say they've had an easy schedule, like even starting it off against Houston. I
Right.
don't think, I mean, we're in the NBA. Like, I don't think necessarily anybody's
There's
that
no
easy
real
of a win.
easy wins,
Yeah.
especially if you're on the road and you're fighting teams with really nice talent like Detroit. You know they have Cade, and then we fought the Rockets. AC Green is not is no joke. He can go off on your team.
Yeah.
He's very
I
difficult.
know. I remember you were, yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that
like it was
comment you
rough
had
because
after.
we should have like walked through that team and they wouldn't go away.
Yeah.
So
That's the thing with Houston right now. I think we're 1-6, if I'm not mistaken, but we're
but they've
in
had a lot of
every
competitive
game
games. Mhm.
until the last 4 minutes. So,
Yeah, I have the whatever you call it too the yep. It's true. See, that's the thing, Thomas. Like the Hawks have a bunch of weapons, and of course Trey is considered a top five offense in itself. So because if that's another thing, I don't know if you noticed, but we're not running pick and roll like hardly at all. Like watch the games of how often we go to the pick and roll. We do it like maybe once or twice every other minute or something like that. Like it's not a lot. And we used to be almost every play was pick and roll back in the day. So he is trying, like Nate McMillan is trying to change up the offense. And I think if you can stay hover around 500 while you're playing around, that's good news. Uh,
mhm.
can we get to 50? Oh, easily. Yeah. If we go on some good streak, if we figure it out offensively and at least shore it up to like a consistent middle of the pack defense, we can definitely be in the 50 range. But
Yeah.
Bogdanovich is a sniper from 3 point.
Yeah.
He's a very good. He was like either our best shooter or our second best shooter last year, just behind Trey. Trey will get
Yeah.
hot again. He'll bring his up to 38%, 39%, and Bogdanovich can be anywhere between that to 42%. So he's very very accurate, and he's he's supposed to be the spacing for the team. We got rid
Mhm.
of Herter, I think, with the idea that Bogdan was going to come on and, after like a few games or something, and Bogdan's just slow to getting back in. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just dropped him in fantasy. I know I'll regret it. I'm gonna have to scoop him up eventually, but he'll even get you over a steal a night. I just think Bogdanovich off of the bench, especially with Holiday, I think he's shooting 31.7% from downtown. I think that's pretty uncharacteristic. I mean,
Yeah,
I just think
season-to-date
they're
average.
trying to gel right now. Like I think it really is that simple when you're 4-3. Like I really
Four,
don't have any issue with it.
no, 4-3 is not bad. They won most of the games they were supposed to win last week or the week before last week. They honestly could have beaten the Bucks.
Yeah.
If anybody watched the game, not only
Yeah.
was it close, but like every time Giannis got the ball, they just called a foul. Like
Yeah.
like he's like literally throwing his elbows into people and they're calling fouls. I'm like, okay, come on, dude. So
Yeah.
Giannis had more free throw attempts. In case anybody didn't watch it, he had more free throw attempts than the entire Hawks team.
Oh wow.
That's not right. That's when you know something's wrong. And they
Yeah.
knew that they were going to keep calling it. So every time the Hawks would score or start catching up and getting ahead, Giannis would just start throwing elbows and getting walking in. And then the very last play, they're gonna place him for Trey. Trey gets run over, and they call it offensive foul on Trey.
Hmm.
And we're out of timeouts. We can't challenge. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, the refs really didn't want the Hawks winning this game.
No, they really didn't. I watched that game, and Giannis dropped 30 in the second half. A lot of those were just fouls,
Oh, he wasn't
and
missing free throws either.
yeah,
Like who knew he was going to shit? He was going to hit three. He hit threes on us.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. And you know who else? Brooke Lopez started the game like 3 of 3 from downtown. He had like 13 points in the
no, it was
first
higher than
6 or
that.
7
It was
minutes.
5 of 5 from downtown. He hit
Yeah, it's
5 3-pointers, and he was 0 for 7 the game before that. So of course
wow.
they're going to leave him open, thinking, all right, we'll settle for an 0-7 Brooke Lopez. No,
Yeah.
5 or 5 from 5 or
No,
5.
yeah, it's just
So
perfect.
I'm not. I feel like that was a tough pill for us, the Hawks fans. So we wanted to be the first one to take Buck's
Take him
cherry,
down. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
because I thought we had the potential to do it. And of course,
Yeah.
Trey had 42 points. Of course he's going to be breaking 40 against the Bucks. The Bucks have drop coverage; they can't stop him.
Mhm.
It is what it is. But no, we had trouble consistently with Toronto. I hope to God we don't ever face them in the playoff. It'll look like we shouldn't have even started. They just bother us. They're long. They get their hands in everything. And unless you got a bruiser to punish them for their size, like they're going to end up hurting you. Like we're a traditionally sized team. We got our smalls are small and our bigs are medium bigs, right?
Mhm.
And we got more because I guess our biggest big is Capella, and he's like 6'10". He's not that big.
Yeah. Okay. That's I also quick side note, I'm really liking Hunter aggressiveness right now.
I do
I'm
too.
loving actually John Collins.
I don't know what happened to John Collins. He's turned into Ben Simmons. I was going to joke around
The last couple games.
that they did a soul switch, that Ben Simmons' true soul is entered in John Collins, and then John Collins' old version is in Ben Simmons right now. But I mean, it just because the stats look like John Collins was that all NBA type player. He was like 2 blocks a game, a steal a game. He was almost pulling 2010. It was like, man, that's nice.
I think
Like
he
this is the
was
type of John Collins that I don't want to trade.
Yeah. And John Collins 4 points against the Bucks, 4 points against the Pistons. Looks like he came back a little bit against Toronto. I mean, Toronto. Anytime you play Toronto, I know they were without Freddie Double V, but like still, I mean, they're such a versatile team, especially on the defensive end. It doesn't matter who's out; they're so interchangeable. I mean,
Well,
it's
here's the irony of that. Fred VanVleet does really well with Toronto against most teams except for the Hawks. But when he's out, it's like they're just more of this lanky hands in your face. It's like he's the short guy, and I prefer him playing against Trey Young and vice versa. Trey will just light him up. But no, man, like they every time we pass the ball, like they're like, hey, I think they're about to pass the ball, and they just put their hands up to snag it. And I'm like, it's like 15 steals before halftime or something. It was like insane.
Yeah, I think Scotty Barnes also had a career high from downtown. I know he also, just like Brooke Lopez, drained at least 3 threes in the first quarter.
There was an awful call that I to this day I was hoping they were going to challenge, where Scotty Barnes literally open armed pushed like he was playing football into DeAndre Hunter, and just pushed him back into the lane, and they called a foul on DeAndre. I'm like, he's open, like palming him. He's not even pushing out. He's literally doing this, just pushing him into the lane. They called a foul. I was like, do people just hate the Hawks? Like, what is this? Oh man, it's awful. And it's the worst thing about being a Hawks fan is that they'll only pay attention when we get blown out. All the ESPNs,
Yeah.
we could be like on a 7-0 run. They won't say anything, but when we lose, they talk about how we lost.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, that's shitty.
Well, you're a Rockets fan, right? So I'm sure you're dealing with some of that kind of bias, but.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, none of these young cats are getting any type of call. That's why it's nice having like my Bulls, like DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. They're gonna get their calls. But yeah, I mean, Jalen Green the other night against the Clippers, nothing, not a single thing. Jabari's definitely not getting anything.
No, Jabari. I think he's going to take a couple of years to really mature.
I agree.
I see his skill set. He's a solid defender actually for being young. Great shot, great looking shot, great athleticism, great strength. I think he just needs a couple more years of physical maturing and mental maturing. Believing in himself a little bit more.
Yeah. He's got to get some meat on his bones. He needs to improve his handle so he can generate for himself outside of just shooting threes above over people because you're not blocking 6'11" Jabari most times. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I feel good about the Rockets, but do you think, I guess we'll wrap up the Hawks talk.
Yeah.
Whoa, that rhymes. It's pretty cool. We're 7 games in.
Yeah.
So I'm like not even something I'm really trying to emphasize on these streams is I'm not even really evaluating these. Like I'm taking it all with a grain of salt. Like I'm not putting too much stock into it. But how are you feeling about just the current roster? Do you think they'll
Oh,
make a move, any tweaks, or
I'm
did they do
very
what they got
upset
to do?
about the Herter trade now. I like
Mm-hmm.
Justin Holiday. I think he's a good guy. I would love to have him on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Would I love to have Herter more? You betcha. Like,
Yeah.
I think they traded for money. They wanted to get under the cap, and they thought also Herter deserved a little bit more play time. I guess they expected that he was going to get a lot of his minutes eaten up by Murray, which for good reason.
Yeah.
Murray's a great offensive scorer, but man, we need Herter right now, and we don't have him. We need that lanky 3-point shooter who's just a dead eye, and it's hurting. It really is hurting. We need a little bit more spacing. If I was going to tweak the Hawks, I hate to say I would get rid of Justin, but I'd probably get rid of Trent Forrest and Justin Holiday and try to bring in another. I would have got Bojan Bogdanovic, honestly. I would have got both the boogie guy, the boogie man.
Wow.
I would have swung for him because he would have been amazing. Can you imagine having him and Murray on that second team? Just sharp shooting all day.
These are guys you can start if need be. Like, I
Yep.
like that. They gave him up for nothing, dude. It still pisses me off to this day. They're asking for all these firsts for all these older players. Bogdanovich is dropping over 20 a night with Detroit right now, and he gave up Saban Lee and Kelly Olynyk and
he
a
hurt us.
second-round pick.
He hurt us, man. We almost lost because of him. Like, he scored 30-something against the Hawks and then another 20-something next game. Like, that's rough.
Yeah.
And it's because, again, we got rid of Gallinari, which I thought was a good trade. I like Gallinari, but he doesn't play any defense at all.
No,
he
not
was
at
getting
all.
long in the tooth, and his money was too high. So that was a good trade. I just think Herter was cheap.
Dude, he's coming off like a couple nights ago, 27-7.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
Like, if you were thinking about him and not the Hawks, if you're just thinking about like I'm his manager, I think he got a good deal. The good deal was go to a team that like will run some serious minutes through you. There's not a lot of expectations going on, so you can just kind of find yourself.
Yeah.
And I think they found it. I think the Kings were a great place for him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know what it is. I hate Kevin Herter when one of my teams is playing him.
Well,
he's
Red
so
Velvet,
annoying.
Red Velvet.
He's so annoying. Man, he's scoring 18.3, 3 rebounds, 4.2 assists. He's shooting 50% from the field, 53% from downtown.
And we got rid of him for almost nothing.
Yeah, he's going off right now.
We got rid of him for Justin Holiday and a first-round draft pick that will most likely not be a first-round draft pick.
Perfect.
It's like top 15 for a while, then top 10 for a while. No, top 13 for a while, then top 10 for a while.
Perfect.
Like, dude,
one of those.
Yeah, the Kings are never making it into the playoffs. They haven't in the last decade or whatever. So.
Yeah. Since I was born, it feels like. I don't think I've ever watched a Kings playoff game, actually.
I want us to trade that pick just so we don't have to like watch it turn into nothing.
So do you think they'll make any type of move, or are we still a little too early on to?
Oh, they will. I
Okay.
think by well, okay, let's be honest. All right. So if the Hawks make they figure it out early, right before the All-Star break. I say early, that means we are a slow starting team anyway. Last year, we had to find our offense, and we didn't
Yep.
find it until after the All-Star break. The year before that, we had all kinds of problems, and we didn't really figure out anything until after All-Star break. I think if we figured it out early, we may not make any changes, or we just will pick up something. Like, hey, we need maybe Justin's not really pulling his weight, and we get rid of one of the holidays. I like the idea of having the brothers on the team, but to be honest, Aaron, who was supposed to be a nothing, he's been way more consistent than his brother. His brother is supposed to be shooting a little above average, like 36%.
Yep. Definitely.
And he's shooting like 31%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow when you need some shooting. So we wanted 3-and-D wings is what we wanted, and we wanted them cheap. And I think Schlenk is a genius, but not all his picks are gonna work.
Okay. Yep.
So I think by halftime, unless we figured it out, I think we're definitely going to make a trade. I don't think Collins is going to be part of it, though. I thought he was at first, but now I don't know if he puts anything like what he's doing now all the way consistently till the trade deadline. He's not going anywhere unless somebody offers us like a mega star for him or something.
Yeah, that's shitty, man. You know how much slack I give John Collins, but I'm rooting for him. He looked good in the first couple games.
Well, I was joking around with Cyro for a while when we were talking about Collins before. I honestly thought he was dog shit. I'll just be honest with you. Like I said that because he was a good 2010 guy, but as soon as Trey comes in here, he just slipped completely off, and then all of his offense came from Trey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because he doesn't create.
Mm-hmm.
But when he starts becoming this, like, I will clean up your mess, like janitor, I'm like, hold on, that's the Collins I want. Like, I don't mind feeding you when you're out there hitting your threes and you're spacing, and every now and then getting some lobs or whatever, and then running the garbage minutes, putting the ball back in and putting garbage minutes. I meant the garbage throwing or cleaning up the garbage, the misses, right? The offensive rebound, stuff like that.
Yeah.
As a good defender, like I like that version of John Collins. I would take him 10 times out of 10 over just about anybody else.
So to wrap up the Hawks talk.
Yeah, sure.
Way too early prediction on a win total. What's the number?
All right. I'm stuck between 47 and 51.
Okay.
I think 51 is our ceiling, and that's like we get it. We get our defense in the top 10, right? Which I think that's actually where our defense will be. I think it will be like a top 10 defense when it's done.
Nice.
I really do, because they've shown they can do it, right? And I think the other end of it is I think there will be for sure like top 3 offense. Okay. I think Trae Young is just brutal. Once he figures it out, like the only reason why we got stopped by Miami is because he is the entire offense, or he was the entire offense, and they could focus on him, and they literally beat it. They beat his ass. Let's just be honest. They were slapping him all over the place to get in the ball. Like the Heat just tore him up, and he's too small to like physically, hold on to the ball while he's getting slapped around. So when they get in the playoffs, and they start letting people get more physical, and he's the only offense. Of course, they can shut down the Hawks. They can't do that anymore. So I think because of DeJounte Murray, I think that stops that little issue, and I think we can go all the way up to the Eastern Conference Finals, in my opinion.
Hell yeah,
it's very possible, unless we did Toronto. I think Toronto. I honestly believe that there are just bad matchups for certain teams.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. I thought that's a funny anecdote because that's how they treat Steph Curry in the playoffs. They'll just, I mean, we already saw it with Trey, especially like that Knicks series. Like, even if he's just like slipping into the lane, they're gonna give him a little elbow. They're gonna just push him a little bit. Yeah, they're just gonna do. That's what you have to do. That's the only way you can beat him. Just try and make it as physical, as uncomfortable as possible.
Yeah, and if the refs don't call it, like, you're not gonna win. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. If your main guy is a $180 soaking wet, you're screwed. And actually, I think he's like 167 or something.
Wow,
he's very well. There's a lot of people who are like around 6 foot that have walked next to him and been around him that say, I think he's actually under 6. I think the 6'1" is a BS like thing.
Wow.
Very small.
Wow.
He's frail. He's small. He's supposed to have hit the weight room this year.
Mm,
I don't know what that means when you're like I said, buck 70, buck 80, soaking wet.
yeah.
But we'll see.
I will see. Well, Aaron, are you trying to play some Purtle?
Oh, hey, I'm up for it.
Let's
I'm
do it.
like 0 for 80 though watching it.
I'm terrible at this game too,
Like if
bro.
it's Atlanta Hawk, I might catch it.
Is this on the screen? Oh
I
no.
know players. I just don't know like all the role players of every team. You know.
Yeah, it can get tough. Ooh, okay.
All right, I got it. Aiton.
Aiton? Dude,
Yep.
that might be DeAndre Ayton. Oh, here you go.
Yep.
Gotta do this. That's how you started off.
There's something about his goofy head. I don't know what it is, but I know that shape.
Well, hell yeah. I thought that'd take a little bit longer, but so Aaron's the undefeated champion currently.
Look,
You're
look.
also our most reoccurring guest, and you
Oh,
are
cool.
the undefeated Purtle champion. So
Well, I love you guys. I love watching you guys. I'll get on sometimes after and just like it and watch the show.
oh,
Uh, I'm an older fellow, so I have like a billion kids. So of
yeah,
course I can't.
that
This is
time
a bad time
change.
for me. I'm actually
Yeah, I would
in church. I took
Yeah.
time off to kind of be here for you guys.
Oh no way.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll
thank
be
you
going right
very
after
much.
this.
Oh
But
wow.
no, batting 1,000. That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. Well, yeah, I mean, we only got a couple of weeks with these Wednesday solos, but anytime you're trying to hop on with a Wednesday solo,
For sure, man. I love you guys. Like I seriously, I think you and Cyro are awesome, and
thank
I
you.
really want you guys to succeed. So I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
support you any way you'll let me.
I appreciate it. Yeah, you're an OG. You've literally been here since the very,
Yeah.
very, very beginning.
Oh yeah, the very very beginning. That's right.
You and Thomas keeping these chats alive. And I
I
appreciate it.
was
I
there.
know Ciro definitely appreciates it as well.
Oh, for sure. I'll stick with you guys. It's an investment for me, but I love sports. I love basketball. I do actually love other teams. So if you want to talk about other teams, it doesn't have to be the Hawks.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. I started the show a little late today, been up since like 5 a.m. Just shitty situation today, but I appreciate you coming on. And
Yeah, man.
I've hated every single solo Wednesday stream except today.
Well, awesome. I will jump on anytime you want a solo. Like, I'll make the time.
Hell yeah, I appreciate that so much. We got a whole week to scheme out next Wednesday, but we'll definitely.
Yeah, I cook for Sundays Wednesday nights for like the neighborhood people. Like I cook food for them, and so I just cooked early. That way, I had it all ready to go, so I'd be here for you guys. So
You're a superstar, dude. Thank you.
just how it is, man. You gotta have goals, right?
Oh yeah.
You live for other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's actually so on the money. That is so on the money. Well, I guess that's about it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Thomas for
Thanks
chatting
for
as
having me,
well.
man. I love it.
And yeah, champion of the people. We'll have to we'll be in talks.
I look like I ate the
week,
people,
so.
probably. Yeah.
Like you what?
I look like I ate the people.
Oh no. No. I do love the red.
Oh yeah, it's
On brand.
yeah, it's today. Red's today, and then of course this is my old Hawks jacket.
Yeah,
I actually have
so
I have an old Dominique jersey, but I couldn't find it. So
that jacket is so goddamn cool. I actually I don't think I brought it. I gotta show you my Bulls
yes,
kind of retro. Not as cool as that, but
well, yeah, Bulls are my old team. Like I follow them as my second team. So
cool.
I love the Bulls. I was a big Jordan fan back in the day, except for when he played against Dominique. That made me upset. But it's like Hawks are my number one, but then the Bulls are my number two. So
that's awesome. Former Chicagoan, and yeah, the beard is as always on the money.
Thanks. This is not even trimmed up either. I had it looking really fly a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago. Thanks.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna end the broadcast. So it was great having you in.
All right, brother.
Appreciate
Anytime,
it.
man.
And
Sure.
we'll talk soon. But yeah. It's great talking to you. Appreciate you. We'll see you soon.
Oh, thank you guys. You guys have a good one. All right, bye
Yeah,
bye.
you too. And thank you to everybody who's watching the stream. That's it for today. Like I said, shout out Aaron. Best Wednesday stream in a couple Wednesdays. And we'll have to get back on next week to talk basketball big time. I was a little, like I said, my Tuesdays are shitty, so I didn't really watch too much live basketball outside the Nets Bulls game. So we'll see you guys tomorrow with Cyro. Shout out Larry for that chat. Shout out Aaron. Shout out Thomas. And we'll catch you cats later. Peace.